Have you ever wondered why some people who call themselves your friends don't truly act like it? Or maybe you felt it, that strange, quiet tension beneath someone's smile, a sense that behind their words, something else lingers, an unspoken resentment, a shadow you can't name. We often think fake friends are obvious, that they betray you loudly, stab you in the back, or simply walk away. But the truth is far more subtle. Most fake friends rarely reveal themselves with open hostility. They hide behind small gestures, casual words, and masks carefully designed to look like loyalty. Carl Jung once said, "People do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." And that darkness doesn't just live inside us, it lives inside our relationships too. If you want to truly understand who stands beside you and who only pretends to, you must bring into the light the hidden motives and quiet patterns that expose false friends. In this video, we'll dive deep into the 2 psychological signs that reveal when someone isn't a real friend. These aren't surface-level tips or cliches. They're insights grounded in psychology and Carl Jung's exploration of the human shadow. Before we begin, if you've ever felt this quiet tension, if you've ever sensed an unspoken shift in someone's energy but couldn't put it into words, subscribe to Deep Psyche, because the journey of understanding the mind, heart, and soul is one we take together. We grow up believing friendship is built on loyalty, trust, and mutual growth. And yes, in its truest form, it is. But research in social psychology tells us something different. Not everyone who calls themselves a friend actually operates from those ideals. Psychologist Robin Dunbar, famous for his work on human social networks, discovered that while we may know hundreds of people, we can only sustain a small inner circle of genuinely close relationships. And within that circle, loyalty is everything. When someone claims that space but lacks true loyalty, disappointment and deception inevitably follow. Fake friends thrive in this gap between appearance and reality. Outwardly, they appear supportive. Inwardly, they may be driven by envy, rivalry, or resentment. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow explains why. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves we deny, our fears, insecurities, and unacknowledged desires. And when people refuse to face their shadow, they often project it outward. Instead of confronting their envy or insecurity, they place it onto you, the so-called friend. Outwardly, they offer support, but inside, your success unsettles them. Your growth becomes a silent threat. And this is where the first psychological sign of a fake friend begins to reveal itself. Sign 1. Consistent undermining. Fake friends don't usually betray you with dramatic gestures. Instead, they chip away at you. Slowly. It doesn't sound like hostility. It sounds like a joke. "Oh, you finally got promoted? Must be nice having connections." It hides in casual comparisons. That's great, but honestly, a lot of people get that opportunity. Sometimes it disguises itself as advice. "I'm happy for you, but are you sure you can handle that responsibility?" At first, these remarks seem harmless. You laugh them off. You tell yourself they didn't mean anything by it. But over time, a pattern emerges. Richard H. Smith's 2008 research on envy shows that when people feel threatened by another's success, they often engage in subtle behaviors designed to minimize or devalue that success, while appearing supportive on the surface. Fake friends become masters at this. They wrap their envy in jokes, hide resentment behind concern, and deliver criticism disguised as encouragement. Carl Jung's theory of projection helps us understand why. The very parts of themselves they dislike, their fears, failures, and insecurities, are projected onto you. When they undermine you, they're not really attacking you. They're attacking the reflection of their own shadow. But for you, the effect is deeply disorienting. You walk away questioning yourself instead of feeling supported. Real friends sometimes critique us too, but their intent is always to build us up. Fake friends critique us to keep us small. This distinction is subtle but vital. Psychological studies on relational aggression, indirect forms of hostility like sarcasm, gossip, or disguised criticism, show that these patterns can erode trust and self-esteem just as much as open conflict. And that's why this first sign matters so much. It hides in plain sight. It whispers where real friends speak honestly. Recognizing it brings clarity, and clarity is the first step toward freedom. Sign 2. Absence. When it truly matters. If the first sign reveals itself in moments of your success, the second sign appears most clearly in your moments of struggle. A real friend might not always show up for every casual hangout or every small event. But when life tests you, when your world cracks open and you need someone to lean on, a real friend's presence is steady. A fake friend, by contrast, has a pattern of disappearing when it matters most. Psychological research on social support shows that the perception of reliable help is one of the strongest predictors of emotional resilience. Knowing someone will show up for you in hard times is what defines trust. And when someone consistently fails to show up, when excuses replace action and silence replaces support, their absence speaks louder than their words ever could. Fake friends often reappear when life gets easy again. When there's laughter to share, benefits to gain, or energy to absorb, they're suddenly present. But hardship strips away masks, and in those moments, unconscious motives rise to the surface. Carl Jung believed that the authenticity of a relationship is revealed most clearly during times of suffering. A fake friend who disappears when you need them most reveals that their connection to you was never built on loyalty, but on convenience. And once you see this, you understand the full picture. The first sign exposes how fake friends act when you rise. The second reveals who they are when you fall. One chips away at your confidence. The other abandons you when you need support the most. Together, these two signs tell you everything you need to know. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming cynical or distrusting everyone you meet. It's about cultivating consciousness. As Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until you name these patterns, you remain at their mercy. But once you see clearly, you can set boundaries, invest in relationships that nurture growth, and step away from those that drain it." Friendship is one of life's greatest gifts, but only when it's real. By recognizing consistent undermining and absence when you need support, you protect your energy, your confidence, and your growth. Because people may hide their motives, but patterns never lie. Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. If this video brings you clarity, subscribe to Deep Psyche, and if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. Sometimes healing begins the moment we finally feel understood. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed these signs in your own life? The quiet undermining disguised as support, or the silence of someone who vanished when you needed them most? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one, because somewhere out there, someone is living the same experience, and your words might be the mirror they've been searching for.